1. I got my MBA, Master of Business Administration, at the age of 40. Now, it's not because I was a slow learner or even lazy, but actually the fact of the matter was that there was no way on God's green earth that my parents could have ever afforded university when I had finished my A-level studies. And there was a small fact that I had no idea what I would have studied anyway. Now, fast forward 20 years later, my sister-in-law had suddenly and unexpectedly died, and I had a huge moment of clarity whilst on stage during a presentation. I'd been, pretty successful in business, and I was actually currently running a successful business, but there was a moment that for whatever reason, I actually needed validation on a piece of paper to say that actually I knew what I was talking about. And that, my friends, was my MBA. And when I had finished it, actually I didn't even go to the graduation, which is pretty stupid, right? And whilst there were many things in there that I did learn, it actually also showed me that there was an awful lot of real world knowledge that 20-somethings with an MBA don't actually know. Now, it was a personal achievement for me and a personal insight into the way that we teach business and actually how it works. Real life beats black and white every day of the week. Number 2, I have written 5 books. Now, I was inspired to write my first book during my MBA studies, and it was called, get this, ADI Part 4. Hardly inspiring, but it was for actually many driving instructors or ADIs across the UK. See, every instructor goes through training to become legally safe enough to teach and granted permission to accept payment for their services. They go through 3 parts of the training, and when they're complete, and when they train and they are finished, they become self-employed, and that includes the franchise ones as well, but they don't know about marketing or any business of the services. And actually, that's the last bit that they really struggle with, and that they're a bit like us all in the fact that we've all become accidental business owners and have had little or no training on how to run a business. So I wrote this first book as I'd gone from just me to a fleet of other instructors and was running a premium conference for the industry in the UK and was charging at least 20% above the market rate in the country. Now, all the lessons I put there if instructors wanted to take them on board. Now, since then, I've written The Fresh Perspective for Business, 101 Questions for Small Business Owners, and that's available for free on my website if you want to go and take a look. The 30-Day Business Plan for Small Business Owners, From Here to 50 Quid, and Business Lessons from Doctor Who. And if I do say so myself, I think actually they're all pretty good. And if you want to take on board any of the lessons, just go to the website. They're all available there. And I just thoroughly enjoyed writing them. And I know the stuff in them actually works. Number 3, I actually started, ran and sold my own business. Now, back in 2010, I left the rat race that was corporate life. I'd done all right, I'd made a few quid for myself and made a lot of other people a lot of money in my time. I started part-time on the shop floor, filling fruit and veg at Gateway supermarkets, if you remember that. Foray into running fruit and veg shops, selling electrical items, running a bank, running supermarkets, and ending up in a boardroom. I'd actually kind of had enough and was missing my son growing up rapidly. So I started my own driving school. Yeah, left field, I know. But it became a bit of a success. I started and ran conferences for the industry, and actually those succeeded as well. And people asked me what I was doing and how I was doing it and why I was doing it, and that's kind of like how I fell into coaching. And do you know what? I thoroughly enjoyed it more than actually running the business that I had built. Now, I enjoyed other people's results and successes and their breakthroughs, so I just made that decision to sell the business. And do you know what? Still in business today. Number 4, I have my own podcast. Doesn't everybody? But it's all about business. It's all about real life business. It's about a podcast where there is no backslapping fan wank. You see, guests are invited on there because they have something worthy of saying, and it's something that will make you look at your business in a very different way. Now, when it's just a solo episode, I share with you my ideas, thoughts and strategies that are working right now, and without the fluff of the emperor's new clothes and trying to sell you an expensive program. So just search for Your Best Kept Business Secret on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, Podbean, or even go to my website. Number 5, I have my own YouTube channel. Well, this is a little bit boring, but yeah, I do video podcasts, business growth, 1-minute questions, business management, marketing, business finance, and so much more. There's over 200 videos on there. So go to YouTube, go and have a quick look. Number 6, I consume 10 podcasts a week. Now, coaches that think they know everything are dangerous and destined to fail. Consultants that think they know everything are incredibly dangerous and destined to fail. Business owners that think they know everything aren't so dangerous, but they are destined to fail. Now, personal development should be somewhere near the top of somebody's agenda every single week. But I also know it's incredibly difficult to find time. So the best way that I consume this stuff is through podcasts. And look, here's a quick list of some of the ones that I listen to. So Business Made Simple by Donald Miller, the TED Business, which is TED Ed, the John Taffer podcast with John Taffer, Youpreneur with Chris Ducker, CNN Boss Files with Poppy Harlow, the Tim Ferriss Show, obviously by Tim Ferriss, Marketing Secrets by Russell Brunson, The Diary of a CEO, is one of my favourites, by Stephen Bartlett, and occasionally I listen to Radio Free Scaro, which is a Doctor Who podcast, and The Molyneux View by The Athletic. Please don't judge me for that last one. Number 7. Now, I consume 2 books a month. Ooh, look at you. Nah, stop right there, okay? I'm like you, I am ridiculously busy trying to develop a new part of the business from scratch, from the ground up, and on such a small budget, it would make you weep. But I am doing it as a project and a case study. So I actually barely have time to turn around, sit down and read a book from cover to cover. Now, I consume most of my books via Audible, which is probably the best £7.99 a month that I actually spend. I can listen to them on the move, walking, driving, in the supermarket, at my desk, in the pub, building a bar, building walls, painting walls and stripping wallpaper, in the shower, walking the dog. You know, you kind of get my drift. Now, personal development and other fun stuff direct to your brain via your ears is available at www.audible.co.uk. Number 8. I am a come dine with me loser. Not one of my finest moments. And recently was told by a person that the person they saw on the screen to me today, and I look like a nerdy bank manager. So 5th out of 5 is absolutely nothing to write home about, but I'd like to point out that anyone who gets invited to mine for food, I can cook. I cook very well, it's just that not everything went as well as it should have done. Add to that a bit of a stitch up and some TV editing, well, it was a proper shit show, and that was served up. But it's also a good reminder of when things don't go so well in life, but it also serves as a great story for when someone tells you it's a really good idea to do something to boost your business, that you need to take a little bit of a minute and realise that every opportunity, and I mean every opportunity, has a double-edged sword. Number 9, I was once the Stig. Now, some might say he's a mystery, some might say he's the fastest TV driver there is, and some might say he'd buy your business from under you faster than Jeff Bezos in a rocket ship. But I was once the Stig, dressed as the Stig for a BBC Children in Need Learner Relay. It was a charity event for driving instructors that passed a Children in Need headboard, you know, those things on top of the car, from one driving lesson to another, from Land's End to John O'Groats, all in the name of raising money for underprivileged children. So I was sat in the passenger seat as my students drove, and the look of shock and amazement from other drivers' faces was truly something to behold. Actually, imagine if there had really been a driving school run by the Stig.